trying to get me out the crib. I was about to hit you up, Walt. Like, man, hey, they got the Preakness event. We got canceled. But no, fuck that. No, we handling business. You know what I'm saying? And we get into it. Walt, that's my cousin Tahir Jahi. He's out in L.A.
Peace.
What's up, Tahir?
I'm holding in there pretty
Yep,
good. How
yep,
about
yep.
yourself?
So we don't got
Fantastic, man.
don't gotta waste any time. Let me get everything up here together. About to take Walt through the gauntlet.
Is that right?
Things good. Three, two, one. What's up, y'all? It's your main man, Jay Sands on Sports, hip hop and sports entertainment at its finest. That's right, y'all. The big kid is at it again. Season 7. First hip hop sports podcast started in 2008 in Baltimore. Interviewed Royce the 5'9" and been cranking them out ever since. Got my co-host with the co-most out in Cali, Tahir Jahi, looking fresh. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, cuz?
I'm holding in there pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling,
Good, man.
enjoying the weather. And yeah, I've been doing my intermediate fasting.
Yeah,
So,
because I seem like I'm the only one getting older. I'm getting older. You getting younger in this motherfucker.
appreciate it. Cause no, we all getting, what I mean, we on that Ethiopian calendar. You know what I'm saying? This subtract 7. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Okay, got you, got you. Well, today in sports history, let me get it down. Today in sports history, we have a great one. My man, my main man, let me get it. My main man, Doc Gooden, threw for a no-hitter against the Seattle Mariners. That was 1996. So he did a lot of coke. he did a lot of coke from that time. So that was definitely a great motherfucking accomplishment for him to make. Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, never be too like them, man. Never be too like them.
Mm.
But check this out. Every once in a while, I'm blessed to have a member from my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, join us. And it's this one is going to be great because the brother is in a lot of he's like a renaissance man. He's in a lot of different bags, whether it's boxing, whether it's acting, and it's just great to see brothers that are creative, man. You know, so without further ado, we have new from Oregon State.
Yes.
Alder Maxfield Jones. What's up, baby?
What's
HBC.
up, Nopi? How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm real good, man. I've approached you a few times, and it's just good to get you on the show. I wanted to have Aaron, but Aaron's in Cancun. You know what I mean? Doing that fly
Okay.
shit. So
It's all good.
yeah. Aaron's been on. I'm gonna have him back. Maybe come on, talk some gambling. You know, break some
Okay.
bank. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyway, Morgan State alum, and just like I said, just like a Renaissance man. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the type of individual that again, I just know you for the boxing for real. You know, what I mean, I knew you was
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
gym. Then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, no, you on the stage too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was great to see, man. So what we like to do is ask the people to just give a 20-second bio of themselves. So can you just give us a brief 20-second bio about yourself, Newt?
Oh wow, bio. 20 seconds. I am a entrepreneur, artist. I find things I love doing. I turn them into businesses. I've done uh, information technology, acting, hosting, comedy, um, boxing, songwriting,
Yeah,
theater, movies,
man.
film, television.
Yeah.
Uh, I am constantly reinventing myself, but I really just I have a mathematical side, an engineering side,
Oh,
and
wow.
I have an artistic side. So trying to balance both of those and not limit myself to one thing, being able to say I can do anything I put my mind to and make that successful.
That's dope, man. Well, you're from Baltimore?
From California,
Oh, what part of Cali?
then Northern California, Sacramento, up north.
Sacktown.
Yeah, Sac.
Sacktown to
Yeah.
Shacktown. What? Okay.
Exactly.
I have to
All right.
start ringing them bells. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, hey,
Oh,
they were races out there, weren't they? In Sacramento, they
In
were.
Sac, yeah, man, the police department, man, it's all bad.
Oh
All
wow.
bad. sheriffs, the PD, they were all bad.
Well,
You know.
growing up in Sacramento, what were your favorite sports teams starting with football?
Oh man, I was a Raiders fan. In Sacramento, you're either a Raiders or a 49ers fan.
Okay.
And I was a Raiders fan. Then they moved to LA. I felt betrayed. I started liking the Niners. And the Raiders are just one of those fickle teams. How can you not like Bo Jackson when they were in LA though? You know what I mean? It's like, but they left us. And then they came back and now they're going to Vegas,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but the Raiders, the silver and black, the Raiders were my team for a long time. Um, but yeah, the Raiders are the Raiders, man. We don't expect them to win, but we love them.
Yeah, like that pretty girl that never get married. She just
You
go from
know,
one situation to the Raiders to bad
exactly.
bitch.
For real. But there was some great Raider eras. Marcus Allen, Jim Plunkett, Lyle Alzado, if you want to take it all the way
Yeah,
back. John, it's just so many Lester Hayes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know
What
what I
was
mean?
the DB that used to kill people? Jack Tatum. Tatum.
Jack
Oh,
Tatum. You know what I mean? So
okay, yeah,
they had
yeah,
some they had some great a great era.
yeah.
I think even Ronnie Lott played for the Raiders for a couple of years.
At the
Bo
tail end.
Jackson, you know what I mean? So and then the 49ers had their era too, of course, that goes without saying, Joe Montana and Steve Young, Rice and Craig and everybody else there went there. So yeah.
West Coast
Ronnie
football.
Lott again,
Yeah.
Owens,
Ooh, I remember. Yep.
yeah, so that Northern
Yo,
California football was real. It's a
yeah.
real thing. And in Sacramento, high school football is everything in
Okay.
Sacramento. So shout out to the Grant Pacers, man. Pacer for life. Del Paso Heights.
Oh, okay. You ever heard of those cuz? You ever heard that team cuz?
Grant Pacers state champions. Come on now. That's high
Okay.
school.
Okay. Like I said,
Everybody,
So I'm SoCal, so you know what I mean. I've been out here
yeah,
for a while.
SoCal.
So,
If you from Northern California, you know about the G. You know about Grant.
got you.
So,
Damn. What about basketball? You got a hoop squad?
basketball, I grew up a Lakers fan.
Oh, wow.
I grew up a Lakers fan. I mean, like, how can you be from California and not grow up a Lakers fan? I mean,
Well, because they got the Sacramento Kings. That's
man, I mean, I was happy that we had the Kings. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I was happy, but you got to understand the era that I came up with. One, I was already a Lakers fan by the time we got the Kings.
Okay.
They were talking about like Reggie Theus. We had a couple. White chocolate was there for a minute.
Yeah.
Chris
Webber.
Webb. Chris
Yep.
Webber was there for a minute. We had
Yep.
some. We had some good era. We had a good era, but I grew up with Magic.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's when I grew. I grew up with Magic in them. You know what I'm saying? So I was a Magic fan. Magic, Cooper, Byron Scott,
Yeah.
Kareem. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when basketball, became a little racially divided. They did that on purpose, but yeah, that was a
Okay.
great
We're
era.
going to tap into your acting. Did you watch the winning time? I think
I
that's what
thought
it's
that was
called.
I thought that was an excellent show. I'm mad they
Okay.
didn't give it another
It
season.
was
I
great.
thought that show was excellent. I was like,
Yeah.
why would they renew this show? I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, I think there were conflicts and there were a lot like Jerry West was real pissed. Jerry
Yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Jerry West, but he was pissed at his portrayal in that show, man.
It seemed accurate to me.
Yeah. Breaking ball. Well, let's keep it rolling. What about at baseball? You got a baseball squad?
Baseball, you know, um, Oakland A's.
Okay.
I grew up, like I said, I'm keeping it Northern California. I grew up, and that's the area that I grew up in. Was that Reggie?
Reggie, Ricky Henderson,
You know what I'm
Wally
saying?
Fingers.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it Northern California all the way, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Northern California, what sports did you play growing up?
Oh wow, football, uh, ran track, basketball. Those
Okay.
pretty much the three that I played. Um,
Wasn't none of that going on when you was in high
no,
school?
not in high school. Not, I mean, street fight. I was
Okay,
slap boxing champion of
yeah,
slap
yeah.
box champion of Northgate
Hey,
in my
hey,
little hood.
allegedly, you're famous, so allegedly, because we don't want nothing coming back. These are
Hey, let
alleged
me tell
street
you,
fights.
if anybody out there felt like they got with me at any point with some slap boxing, we
Yeah.
can go out. We can figure that out right now. If you still want some smoke, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah,
Let me
let us
tell you
know.
that right now. I've always had hands.
Slap.
Always.
Whack, 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 whack,
Yeah.
whack, whack.
Now,
Woo.
I will say there's a difference between, street fighting and boxing. It was night and day. The first day I stepped into a boxing gym, that was clear to me. Like, just because you can fight in the street, that don't mean you can box, you
Okay,
know.
check it out. This is a part of the show we got back when I played. So, can you tell us about the first time you were in that ring?
Oh man, first time I was in the ring, I got my ass handed to me.
Oh, okay.
I got my ass handed to me, bro. Because they didn't want me in the gym. I swear, like when I walked into the gym for the first time, the coach, I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to fight. I want to learn how to box. The coach looked at me up and down like, you don't want to fight, you pretty motherfucker. And just walked
Mm,
away. Just walked away. I was like,
damn.
what am I going to do? Anyway, months went by. They didn't really talk to me in the gym. I just started talking trash. Like I said, I was a street fighter. So I just started talking trash when I was hitting the bag. Like, what do you think y'all gonna let me in that ring? I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all I got hands.
Mm.
Mind you, all the guys in the gym are professional fighters. I'm the only amateur. They look at me like, yo, don't pay him no mind. Finally, one day, after talking enough trash, coach was like, all right, get in the ring. I was hyped, man. You couldn't tell me I was hyped. The dude that I was getting in the ring with, probably, I don't know how many amateur fights he had, somewhere between 20 and 50.
Mm.
And and he was going to turn pro in 2 weeks.
Mm.
And and I was like, yo, I'm about to let him have it, right? Bell rings, I go out, man, and I must have just threw a barrage of punches. And I remember at the end of the round, I went back to my corner. And mind you, for the past 6 months, year, none of the coaches really talked to me like that. They may have shown me a jab, maybe a 1-2, but they were just like, you're not a pro, you're not going to go pro. There's really no need for us to pay attention to you. So one of the older coaches comes over. He's like this real frail old dude, got dialysis needles coming out of his
Mm.
arms. You know what I'm saying? The legend in the gym was like, hey, he look all frail now, but he probably had like 152 fights with only 2 losses. Like this dude was a bad dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like, let me tell you something, young blood. You threw about 142 punches that round, and you about 6'2", you weigh about 165, 175, something like that. You should be throwing about 45 punches around. You're doing way too much. You don't weigh yourself out. And I looked at him, I was like, man, I've been here for over 8 months or whatever, and you ain't said a word to me. Now you're gonna try to be my coach? Like, yo, get
Mm.
away from me. I got this. I told y'all I was gonna wear this boy out.
Mm.
About a minute into the second round, bro. I'm I'm giving it to him. And all of a sudden, you ever do push-ups and you be like, oh, I can do push-ups forever. And then all of a sudden you hit that wall
Yeah.
and your last push-up was your last push-up. You know what I'm talking about, bro? You ever run track and try to do a 400 and you try to do
Oh,
that last curve?
that
All of a
last
sudden,
part.
like that bear jump on your back, you hit that wall. Man,
Mm.
about a minute into the second round, man, I hit a wall and it just felt like my feet were sinking in quicksand. I
Mm.
couldn't hold my hands up. They were
Oh.
just falling. I just couldn't hold them up. I couldn't breathe. And and I looked at the dude, and the dude looked at me and he smiled. And I was like, oh shit. And I walked over to the corner and just like balled up and was like, come on, come on.
Damn.
And man, when I say that boy wailed on me, man, he was just haymaker after haymaker. And there was a list on the wall when you came into the gym, and you had to do that before the coach would even talk to you. It was like 500 crunches, 300 jump squats, 200 push-ups. You know, it was like this laundry list, 8 rounds on the heavy bag, 4 rounds of shadow boxing. It was like a laundry list you had to do as soon as you walked in the gym before you even talked to the coach. And I got hit in the ribs like, ugh. I was like, man, I'm glad I've been doing them 500 crunches. Ugh, that would really hurt. And it was like, boom. I was like, whoa, what was that? And the whole world was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hell
And I was like, oh my God. Boom. And I got hit with it again from the other side. I was like, like, move your head, nigga. Move your head. Like, do
yeah.
something. Do something, nigga. Just don't get hit with that shit. Don't get hit with that again. And man, I ended up with I remember at some point everything started going in slow motion, and I'm moving my head. I'm just feeling punches whiz by. My hands are up, and I was like, "You got to throw something, Walt. You got to throw something. He's killing you over here."
Yeah.
And I just kind of saw where his head was. I closed my eyes and just threw a haymaker right down the pipe. Hit him in the nose. His nose busted open, started bleeding, and he grabbed me. He was like, "Oh, that was a good shot." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh," and then he's like, "Let me go." And I was like, "No." He was like, "Let me go." I was like, "No, bro, I'm not letting you go." The coach screaming from the sideline, from the outside the ring, like, break it up, keep fighting. I was like, "No, you're gonna have to come in here and break this thing
Yeah.
up. I am not letting go." The coach had to come through the ropes, break us up. By the time he broke us up, the bell rang. I had 2 black eyes, a busted nose, a cut lip, couldn't chew for 2 weeks. It was all bad. And I remember the coach was like, I was supposed to do 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, "You gonna do the next round?" I was like, "No, no,
Hell
no,
no.
I'm not." And I remember grabbing my stuff and I started walking towards the door. And like right as I'm reaching for the door, like it was a movie, uh, I heard the coach say he ain't coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I was a business developer at the time. I was making good money. Um, and if I wouldn't have heard him say that when I grabbed the door, I probably wasn't gonna come back. But him saying that just like, ooh,
Yeah. That's
came
your
back to
origin
me.
story. They call that the origin story.
Origin story. And I remember being at home that night. I had like 6 ice bags on me, dude. I had like an ice pack on each eye, like on my
Yeah.
neck, on my elbows, my ribs. I like trying to sleep with all these Ziploc bags of ice balanced on me. and
That shit crazy, man.
I was so mad because I was like, I gotta go back just because he said I wouldn't. And the next day I showed up, the next day is worse.
Yeah.
Next day I was really like, it went from red to purple.
Yeah.
Next day I showed up with my little gym bag, my jump rope, whatever. They was like, "Oh, he's back." Oh, like, okay, I told you. Most people was like, "Oh, I don't know." In my mind, there was some money being exchanged.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know if there actually was, but in my mind, money got exchanged. I was like, they was really betting whether or not I was gonna come back. And
Yeah.
at that point, I just put it in my mind. I was like, I'm about to try to be better than everybody in this gym.
Mm.
And I just went crazy. I was there every day, 3, 4 hours a day. I was a gym rat from that point on.
Awesome. That's a great back when I played, Walt. That's top 5 back when I played right there, goddamn it. Hey, y'all hear the sound? That means we are going out of the first quarter and we are headed into the second quarter. Second quarter, since we were talking about boxing, let's continue. What do you expect from the Canelo and Bud fight if it ever does happen?
Oh, I think it's gonna happen. I'm never gonna bet against Bud.
Mm.
I think I'm not gonna bet against Bud, bro.
Yeah.
Uh, always bet on Black.
Okay.
But I think it's gonna be a great fight. I think it will go the distance.
Mm.
Um, just because Canelo is used to being at that weight and fighting bigger guys.
Okay.
Bud's coming up, so he's the smaller guy in essence. Canelo's not as big as everybody thinks he is. People forget that at one point he was holding the middleweight title, but forcing people to fight him at a catch weight of 154.
Okay.
You know, but as he's gotten thicker, and older, he's been able to maintain that weight. He's gotten thick. He got some serious man weight on him now and some power behind it. Um, I think it'll be an excellent matchup. You know, people were worried about Floyd Canelo. Uh, Imagine I look at Bud as like a pretty boy Floyd when Floyd was mean in
Hmm.
the ring. When Floyd used to try to really hurt people before Floyd's hands got hurt,
Hmm.
Floyd was a monster. He was trying to, kill people. And Bud has that dog. He has the skill set as well.
Yeah.
And he has more thud on his punches than Floyd did at that weight class. So I think it'll be great. But I'm gonna put if I have to bet though, I'm putting my money on Bud.
This is a question I want to ask. Matter of fact, in order to do this podcast, I had to take a nap. I sent y'all a text and took me a 2 hour nap because man, shit, if I don't get a nap, it's over. So what happened was what had happened was during the Canelo fight a couple Saturdays ago, I didn't get
Hmm.
a nap. So I was out like 10 o'clock. I missed the whole shit. But people were mad. What were people mad about that fight? I guess the guy he was fighting wasn't fighting back.
You know, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. That whole weekend for that matter was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Whether it was Canelo Skull, whether it was Ryan Garcia,
Oh yeah,
uh,
yeah,
Devin Haney, it seemed like nobody was. People were fighting to survive, not fighting to win. They were fighting to like they're just trying to get past the next opponent to get to the next fight,
yeah,
not actually giving the show that they're supposed to. It seemed like everybody was scared to take risks. The two people that saved that weekend was Teofimo Lopez and Inoue as well. He put on a great fight. He got hit, dropped, got up, dropped the guy. You know what I mean? Came back from adversity. But Devin Haney looked like he had PTSD from the Ryan Garcia fight, and he was just moving, just so afraid to get hit.
yeah. He talked
Um,
a lot.
Ryan Garcia was supposed to beat Rolly,
Yeah,
apparently, what most people thought easily. Rolly,
busted his
I
ass.
don't know if it was Rolly or his camp put together a great game plan. They basically watched Tank versus Garcia. It was like, you know what, all we got to do is control that lead hand. Let's put a hand on his lead hand and just neutralize it, and he won't even throw the right hand, or there'll be nothing on it.
Hmm.
And that worked. So when it came to Canelo Skull, I was just like, man, it was just one of those fights that, you expect more from Canelo. You expect more from a champion that's pay-per-view. That's right now,
Yeah.
one of the biggest draws in boxing, if not the biggest. Why would you put on that type of performance? Like this is supposed to be the tune-up for Crawford. This is making you look like
Yeah.
making the odds sway more in Crawford's direction.
And we're in Baltimore, so what are your? I haven't heard any big Tank news this year. Tank has a fight coming up in Vegas, I believe.
The
Frank,
Tank fight, I believe, Tank Roach is the rematch is supposed to
Oh yeah,
be.
he fought Roach. Roach was in his ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
DMV. It's a DMV
Tank
battle.
Roach. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
Okay,
no,
Roach. Yeah,
Tank,
it's a
Tank and
DMV
Roach.
showdown. D Moore
The
versus. I've
whole,
been waiting for this since I moved down here.
yeah,
Baltimore versus
the
DC.
whole. They
I've been
not gonna
waiting
let you
for it.
win. That whole. They not gonna let you win. Uh, Grease got in my eye controversy.
Yeah, I
You
remember
know,
that. Ooh, that was. Ooh, his
So
hairdresser came out with that shit.
yeah, but it wasn't. Let me tell you something. Tommy Hearns had the juiciest Jerry curl ever in boxing,
Yeah,
and he ain't never complained
yeah.
about Jerry curl juice in his eye.
Sugar
So
Ray,
no,
Sugar Ray had Jerry Curl too.
everybody did. So I don't. You can't complain about the Drees getting your eye. I watched the fight several times. Ended up slowing it down, put it in slow motion. It wasn't Grease that got into his eye. You know how Tank has those braids that come down?
Yeah,
He went to roll a punch, and one of the braids slapped him
yeah,
in his eye.
yeah,
That's what it was. And he thought he didn't, I guess he just thought it was Grease, but
yeah,
the braid slapped him in his eye.
yeah.
okay.
Legally, it is up to the refs. Uh, it is the ref's decision whether or not he calls it a knockdown. In 95% of cases,
Knockdown.
a ref would call that if you take a knee, whether the ref
That's a
sees the punch or
knockdown.
not, 95% of the time in almost every other incident I have seen, the ref called it a knockdown, but it is to his discretion. Now, as far as Tank going to his corner and his allowing his corner to touch him without the ref's approval or instruction,
Yeah.
as far as I know, that is always a disqualification.
Damn.
That didn't happen.
Man.
So, Roach put up a hell of a fight. I hope that he's not celebrating too much about this draw.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I saw him some meme or something. He was holding a beer at some game, or I'm not sure what it was.
Okay, no, you don't do that.
And I'm like, bro, you got to fight Tank again in a month. You know what I
No
mean? Like,
Rose Bar, nigga. Don't be at the Rose Bar,
don't
nigga.
be at the Rose Bar, bro. You got to fight Tank again in a month, and best believe Tank is like, he's gonna want to show that it wasn't a fluke. To Roach's credit, Roach has fought Tank. I think he fought him in the amateurs, and I hope that I'm being correct with this. I think he fought him in the amateurs, and Tank got a decision. He disputed it. USA Boxing gave him like a pass to go to nationals. He ended up clearing out the West Coast. Tank cleared out the East Coast. They met again in the national finals, where Tank squeaked out the win, and Roach admitted to that win. He said he felt like he won the first one, and Tank won the second one. So this last fight that they had to Roach's was like the tiebreaker, and it ended up being a draw.
Yeah.
So it's not like Lamont Roach is intimidated in any way, shape, or form. He knows what he's getting into. It should be another great fight. But, that was the biggest stage he has been on up to that point, and I hope he does not get drunk by the lights and the cameras.
They say these guys aren't fighting each other. Is that a myth, or is that something true? They say the big name guys aren't fighting. Well we had who did Haney fight that he got beat up? Oh, he fought Garcia, but
He
Garcia.
fought Garcia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of guys are ducking each other. They have what you call the Floyd Mayweather effect, where everybody wants to keep that zero,
Yeah.
right? So they're not fighting each other. But what is the guy? He's the Turk and the Turkish guy. I'm not sure if he's Turkish, but the guy that
Triple G?
no.
Oh,
I'm talking about the Sheik, the Sheik, whatever. I'm not,
okay.
the guy with all the money
Oh, okay. Oh,
overseas.
yeah. I see. I get the one that does the boxing. Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
him.
yeah. He does not care about who you're signed to.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about who your promoter is.
Yeah.
He is all about, hey, I got billions of dollars and I want to see this fight.
Yes, he
And
does.
he's really making fights happen that would have never happened otherwise.
Yeah.
Just because he's like, forget all the pay-per-view stuff. How much you want? You want 10 million? You've
Yeah.
never made 10 million before in your life. The most you've ever made is 2 million. I'll give you 10. You gonna take the fight? All right, good. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how do you negotiate? And a lot of fighters are throwing out numbers. They may have only made 1 million at the most ever. They're like, I want 20 million. He's like, all right. They're like, dang, I should ask for more. You know what I'm saying? He's not even flinching at the numbers being thrown at him. He got so much money. So he's making fights happen that would never have made before. So I'm thankful for that. And hopefully we'll get to the point where the fighters actually, want the glory or the claim of really being able to say that they're the best, as opposed, even though I understand it is you are a prize fighter and you're fighting for a prize, but there should be some pride along with that prize as well.
No doubt. And getting out of the quarter, I wanted to ask you both, because we like to do this, because I've been watching your man, what's his name, David Coggins.
David Goggins.
Yeah. I be
Stop
watching
acting
him.
like a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Put on your shoes.
I
Get
had
out there and run.
on my phone like 6 in the morning. My wife's like, "Who was that yelling?" You know, what I mean, like, "Oh, that's the man." You're like, you know why you're not working out? Because you're a pussy.
Right. Woke up in the morning, looking at my shoes.
Yeah.
Decided to record my own thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what my thoughts were saying? You're a bitch.
Yeah. It's real. I saw what he did with your man, MMA fighter.
Oh, was it Adesanya? I think it
Yeah,
was.
he worked out with him, and
Man,
yeah, he put him down.
put him down. And mind you, David Goggins is 50.
Yeah, yeah. No cartilage in his knees.
He's 50.
Yeah,
And he's putting down current fighters,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
active
yeah,
active fighters who are in great fighting shape.
yeah.
And they
Yeah.
did not know how real it was going to be to train with this guy who's what, Navy SEAL, Army Ranger,
Yeah.
you name
Ultra
it. He's
marathon runner. Yeah.
ultra marathon. This dude wakes up and runs 100 miles for fun. 100. Who, like, not a regular marathon, like four of them.
Oh, fuck that. I got shit. I got shit to do.
I
I
got
would
shit
love
to
I
do.
would love to run that long, but and I got to answer my phone. I got shit to do, and it take about so I can, never gonna do it. Never gonna do it. Well, hey, check this out. That's dope. We are out of the second quarter, going into
All right.
halftime. Halftime, Major League Baseball, fellas. I'm done. My Pirates about to have the worst season ever in Pirates history, so I'm done with baseball. But I will read the home run leaders. Aaron Judge has 15. Kyle Schwarber has 15. Corbin Carroll has 14. Cal Raleigh has 13. And Eugenio Suarez has 13 home runs. Those are the leaders. I'm done. Fuck, baseball is over for me. I'm ready for football. But have y'all been paying attention to baseball?
I can't lie to you. I have not been paying attention to baseball. I've been completely focused on boxing.
Yeah.
I have a pro fighter. He turned pro March 2nd. And
Mm.
our next fight, one is pro for pro debut. And our next fight is July 26th at Maryland Live Casino. If
Wow.
you want tickets, I got VIP ringside. I got ringside. I got floor. Uh, rafters. I got, you name it. I got tickets in almost every section of the casino. It's going to be a great show.
Wow.
So definitely hit me up. What Walt can do on IG, DM me, and reserve your tickets. Like, I got tickets for sale now, so I'll either leave them at will call for you, or you can pick them up from the boxing gym.
Man, you said what is this date?
July 26th, Maryland Live Casino.
Got you. Cuz you been watching any baseball?
No.
Yeah, we're the worst baseball recap ever. And with
But
that being
I
said,
do I do have a question though.
okay, go ahead and get down.
Do you think baseball is doing enough to keep fans interested?
Well, I'll put you like this, and basically, it's like the Pirates. The Pirates can have the worst season ever in the history of baseball, but they're going to make the same amount of money because
Mm.
because at profit sharing. So there's no incentive really to spend money in baseball because there's so you see what Otani got? He got what 700 million. So the money they talk about the money and all the baseball might have the craziest money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but is it good for the sport though? I mean, like
on
all
again,
the young people that I talk to,
yeah.
they're not really checking for baseball.
But guess what? They don't have to because there are enough people who are. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And they've outsourced it. You see how the NBA has outsourced it?
Uh-huh.
Baseball has been outsourced to the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
and actually in Japan as well. So
Yeah.
the American athlete is not really they're into football, basketball. But well, guess what? Dominican, Puerto Rico. Have you guys ever watched the Caribbean World
Puerto
Series?
Rico, Mexico. Yes,
Did you watch
they've
the Caribbean World Series? Have you ever seen like them play baseball in the Caribbean, like Puerto Rico versus
Cuba,
Dominican? Yeah, have you ever seen that? It's like a fucking
Cuba, Japan, China.
what? Those
It's
games,
real.
and don't let him hit a home run. It's going to take 30 minutes for him to round the base. He's going to throw the bat. Oh, wow, wow. So yeah, I think for American, I mean, there are kids, of course, in America that play baseball, but it's just I look at the drills that these kids in the Dominican are doing, like they're doing,
Mm.
sitting on the tire, got one arm holding the cow, throwing the like damn.
Yeah. So Afro-Latino, right? Baseball is definitely dominated by Afro-Latino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, my mother's Panamanian, big
Mhm.
on baseball. They're big on baseball and soccer, right?
Yeah.
And we grow up playing baseball with aluminum bats or whatever,
Yeah.
that we got from wherever. They're hitting rocks with sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They grew up, their precision is a little bit different. You know what
The
I'm saying?
motherfucker throw a screwball with a rock. She's a bad motherfucker.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. It's different over there. It's serious over there. The way that, a lot of black athletes in America look at basketball, football, they look at baseball.
Yeah.
That they're like, that's their way out. Baseball is their way out.
Yeah.
Um, and with baseball, not only does baseball have a lot of money, it has a lot of money for a long time. There's people playing baseball into their 40s.
Ken
Mhm.
Griffey just got paid $3 million
You
from his
see what I'm saying?
contract. Ken
How old is he
Griffey
now?
been retired.
How old is Ken Griffey now?
He's about my age. He's about 50 something, but he
You
just
see what I'm
like
saying?
Bobby Bonilla still gets paid like base.
Lord, Bobby.
There's no other sport that pays that much money for that long because
Yeah.
there's not as much wear and tear on your body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer, honestly. You can get a scholarship. I mean, a lot of teams you can get a basketball scholarship, but everybody's trying to get a basketball scholarship. Everybody's trying to get a football scholarship. Man, sneak in there on a baseball scholarship, and hey, like I said, man, I've been saying it for years, and I'm gonna keep saying it, man. You can mess around and hit a lick, learn how to field the ground ball in America if you're American, young brother in America, man.
This has probably never been stated on your podcast, but the easiest way for a guy to get a scholarship for sports, cheerleader.
Ooh,
Mhm.
If you can hold a girl up like this with one hand, you'll get a full scholarship.
guess what? I'm gonna be paying for school. We had a I want to believe we had a black male cheerleader at UC at Cincinnati. He didn't have no
Uh-huh,
mustache, none of that shit.
uh-huh.
And
But look,
hey, matter of fact, this isn't the TMZ podcast, but I want to ask you guys this. We're talking 30 million because we don't do gossip, man. We're talking $30 million. All right.
okay.
Damn, I hate going low into this, but I just want to ask. We're talking $30 million. Would you let your lady go in the courtroom and saying that she asked, or somebody saying that she asked to be peed on, but we got $30 million coming, baby. Just admit to that pee, baby. Just admit to that bullshit, baby, and we got the money coming. Are we doing that as a family?
As a unit.
Yeah, are we doing that? Because look, when the trial's over, it's like Woody Harrelson in A Decent Proposal. It's like, all right, we got the
Exactly.
money, but bitch.
Yeah, man. I there's no way you can stay. I mean, 30 million is a lot,
It's a
but
lot, but
but there's no way you can, like, every time you go to the bathroom, you think about
ooh,
you can't even pee by yourself.
oh my God,
Every,
go to this family
every,
reunion. They
you
offer
know
you
what I'm saying?
lemonade.
Dude, the sores and blisters in her mouth, the days of recovery, like, dude, like, you cannot, like, how can you, if I was him, I'd be like, I don't want to, I'm already married to you. I don't want to know. I
Yeah,
don't want to know.
I
But if you
don't
know,
wanna know.
but it's too late now, bro.
Oh, it's
It's
too
too
late.
late
Cat's
now.
out the bag.
Actually, I can't even lie. I would want to know, and I wouldn't have married her.
Mm.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it.
man.
I wouldn't have did it.
Anyway, man,
Like,
I'm
dude.
sorry. I'm sorry. I hate. I go big on not being a TMZ podcast talking about. It just kind of fit like
Hey, I understand. Okay, I answer. Would you?
who me?
Would you 30 million
Man, the
courtroom?
fuck no, man. There's so many. I have a list of things I won't do for $30 million. I have a list, and it's some cool shit. No, so hell not. I believe that I became not 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 entertained or not turned on by money, but man, peace is so much more valuable than money.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
mean,
I, I,
if you don't
you
have
know,
money,
I hear what you're saying theoretically, and I know that's what you feel like the people want to hear. Right? We talking about 30 million, bro.
man, look,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and guess
listen,
what?
this
My
this what's
mom,
gonna be. You gonna sleep in that bedroom in that side of the house. I'm gonna sleep in the basement with my 15 million, and we could stay married. I just ain't never gonna kiss you
yeah,
or look at you. I
guess
ain't
what?
I ain't gonna let you kiss our kids goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Your mouth is not allowed. If you use a spoon in our house, we're throwing that
You
spoon.
got your
We
own
only using
spoon.
plastic spoons and forks in our house. Everything is disposable. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna keep my 15 million. I'm not gonna divorce. I'm gonna take this 15 million.
Yeah,
I'm just not gonna touch you ever again. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
yeah,
We have to believe that he knew a lot of this going
yes,
in,
yes, yes.
right?
From being the trainer.
Yeah.
We have to realize that. And I'm gonna say, no. Why? Because we have platforms like AI right now, right? You got these LLMs, these large language models that are they're collecting all this data. And in this lineage, my bloodline is going to be able to do some type of prompt and pull up
the
all that went on. And so is it worth that? I'm gonna say no, because everything moving forward is going to be on some blockchain. It's going to be there forever. So
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I would
What?
I would hope that she prepped him.
Mm.
I would hope that she prepped him.
Ain't
From
no
what I heard,
prep. Ain't no prep, bro. Ain't no sitting down having a motherfucking mojito.
no, like, don't let there be anything that happens or is that said in this courtroom that's going to surprise me. Plus,
Mm.
they already got kids. They already
Mm.
got kids, right? They got like two
Yeah,
kids, right?
yeah.
They already got kids. They're married. They already got kids. I heard are the kids in the courtroom listening to this too?
Puffy's kids are, and I see the women like, oh, but he's her rock. He's a rock.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yo, women and accountability, yo.
Yeah,
Women don't be checking each other on the accountability front. You know what I mean? At the
yeah,
end of the day, what Puffy did was wrong visually, what I seen.
yeah,
But we also dealing with a young adult who was totally capable of saying, "I
yeah,
don't want to be peed on,"
yeah,
and so on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah, there's the pressure, casting couch energy, all that type of thing.
yeah.
We know who Diddy is. You know what I'm saying? See how his behavior is, but at the same time, you gotta take some accountability here for all those stores in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
At
it
some
pays
point,
to be
one
boring.
store should have stopped her at some point and said, you know what, I'm going too far. You know what I mean?
Matter of
So
fact, Uncle Jay Sands advice: the pathway to peace is boring. There's no excitement on the pathway to peace. It's doing something repetitively every day. It might take a few hours, might be stretching, might be I don't know, but there's no twerking on the pathway to
marriage,
peace.
marriage,
Yeah,
boring. Right?
don't see no twerking. But yo, around halftime, we're gonna run through the NBA. You see, I got the Celtics and the Knicks on, and yeah, the Knicks are getting blown out by 25. Look, everybody in New York thought they were about to go to the finals, and they probably will. They
Yeah.
probably will, but they just hit a little speed bump tonight, getting blown out again by 25 points. So everybody, matter of fact, I saw Sadat X and Edo G going at it today. Boston, New York. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think about the NBA playoffs so far? You guys been enjoying it?
Yes, I've enjoyed it thus far. I hated to see what happened to Tatum.
Yeah, that's tough.
That
That's
was
tough.
rough to see.
And he's young. Like a lot of the when you tear your Achilles, usually you're in your 30s. You done had a nice career, and Kobe tears his Achilles, or KD when he's in his early 30s. But JT is young, and this is not that he's a high flyer, but he bangs on dudes though. There's some JT highs he's banging, and and the lift that he has to get on that jumper. So I'm just interested to see, because remember Derrick Rose, he tore, and I want to see how, because he has a long career to go from now. It's not like he's at the end of his career. So I'm just wondering what type of player he's going to be when he comes back. And I'm interested to see what the roster is going to look like if they lose New York. I was watching the game before we started the podcast. Jaylen Brown was fucking balling. So I always wondered this. Do they just need one? They don't need Brown and Tatum. They just need one of them, and they can get rid of one of them. I always thought that. Like they have two of the same play. They're basically the same person. They got two Scottie Pippens.
You know, they won a championship like that. So I don't know if you.
I was about to say, I'm like, you don't want to take away. You might want to add. You might want to add like a specialty player to it. Somebody that's like a niche type player. You know, somebody like or like an enforcer. I don't know, but not. You don't want to take away from that combination, man.
Yes. Okay. So I stand down. Very impressed with Oklahoma City. Shea again, boring. Shea Gildress' game really is kind of a boring game. It's not really. It's mid-range jumpers, layup, mid-range jumpers. It's not like Ant-Man. Ant-Man gonna jump over three people and dunk on the biggest, you know what I mean? Nah, Shea Gildress just like he's like a snake. He's like a smooth snake. Like and yeah, so I like OKC. Again, Shea Gildress.
I like that because that's a lost art form at this point. You got big men coming down shooting threes from half court. Everybody wants to shoot the three. Nobody really has a mid-range game like that, making those silent points. It's kind of like my man from the Spurs, freaking shoot.
Duncan? Oh no.
Duncan.
Okay, Duncan. Okay.
Duncan just rebound, turnaround jumper, shoot up, from the dots, short shots. Just quietly making fundamental, just doing fundamental basketball, nothing flashy. At the end of the game, you're like triple double. I don't even remember him scoring. Like, he got 33, 19 rebounds, 10 assists. Mm-hmm. Quiet, deadly assassin. I like it. I feel like there needs to be more fundamentals in the game. And for me, I like the throwbackness of it.
Yeah. Look like Minnesota may send Golden State home tonight. That game's about to come on. Steph's hurt, and they probably just need to put Steph on ice and prepare for next year, I believe. And unless Jimmy Butler has one of them games tonight where he, okay, we got a chance, we can win the series. But really, I think Golden State might just have to park the car, pull over, wait for roadside.
Unless Vegas come through with a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah. So and the Nuggets lost last night, but Joker is always impressive to me. You see that three he hit, man, where he just turned around and just like, what the fuck? Big up the Joker, man. And, hey, the coolest shit was when he came to the game in the Joker outfit, the purple suit. That nigga fly. and last but not least, probably the guy who is wiping the most sweat off his forehead is Nico. What's the GM for Dallas? Nico. Hold on. I'm Nico Henderson. Is that his name? Nico Harrison. Yeah, because they did the trade, then the ship started sinking, everybody got hurt, but they got the number one pick. So they're probably going to get Cooper Shield and, Cooper Cup. What name?
Flag.
Cooper Flag. Too many damn Coopers. But yeah, so yeah, Dallas. And also, let me look at this right now because shout out to my neighbor Keith, the NFL schedule comes out tonight. The NFL schedule came out. So there's the NFL schedule, but maybe we'll go into that next week. But I just wanted to give that a shout out. We are out in third quarter. We are going into the fourth quarter, sir. I want to ask you about we talked about the boxing, and I want to ask you about the other chamber, the other bullet in the clip. I want to ask you about acting class. How many acting classes you took in your life?
Oh man, I grew up. I mean, the school that I went to had a theater program. It was almost like a school of the arts. So in high school, I was acting all through high school. I was acting for as long as I can remember. You know, starting from church plays. You
Mm,
know, being the lamb
mm.
in the manger.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Started out for literally as long as I can remember. I was like doing plays, and eventually the theater transitioned to um, like open mic poetry, where I hosted the longest running weekly open mic spoken word venue in the country for 17 years called Warm Wednesdays,
mm,
and met legendary artists and poets, and then it one of the poets wrote a play and got me back into acting. And from that play, I met some actors, and they took me to auditions for movies, and movies turned into Emmy nominated web series, and
mm.
that went to off Broadway, and then back to, so it's just been constant. Once I got rolling, I've been rolling ever since. Right now, Jahi Alexander, I'm sure you've probably seen him on
Yeah,
IG, doing the musical parodies and everything. Desi, his sister Jess, hilarious. I'm in a film with them called Flood. You can see it on Apple TV and Tubi.
that's dope.
And we are working on the sequel to Flood 2. We've already started filming that. We started filming like maybe a couple of weeks ago. So
Yeah,
Flood 2 is coming out soon. Make sure you follow Desi Alexander, uh, What Walt Can Do, Walter Maxfield Jones on IG, and Just Hilarious as well, man. It's a it's great being um, in a circle of people that are really, creating their own content, creating their own ways to move forward. And it was funny because the boxing is what uh, made Desi reach out to me. He reached out to me asking me to get him in shape because he
yeah,
wanted to be an action. He like, yo, I'm about to do an action movie. I'm going to be my own action hero in my movie. I need to get in shape. And it started out with me doing some boxing training, and then he asked me if I could do fight choreography, and
yeah.
I was like, yeah. And then it just turned to like, hey, you want to be in the movie?
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Hell yeah, I want to be in the
I'm
movie.
sorry, I answered it for you.
So, but so it's like I always say, there's never, never be anxious or have anxiety or be afraid of certain things. Everything you've done in your life prepares you for the moment that you're in.
Yeah,
And I feel like every time that there's an opportunity in front of me, you've heard other people say you're supposed to be in that room. It's not only are you supposed to be in that room, you're prepared to be in that room. Your life, the
mm,
little experiences got you or have you prepared, so there's no need to be nervous. Just be yourself. And everything will go well.
that's dope, man. Do you stay in character? Like, say you're doing something and then you leave the set, then you gotta go home, go to the grocery store, and say you're a maniac killer. Are you walking around the grocery store like in character,
You,
or you
you,
can go from on and off?
I used to. I
Okay.
used to. I used to, depending on um, how long we were filming, if there was a film schedule, depending upon how long a play was running. There was a character named Anthony Steele that I played in a play, and that play ended up having two more sequels to it, right? I believe the original one was like Deception and Denial, Never Sleep Alone, and like The Love Electric or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that character dressed a certain way, blazers with like a baseball cap tilted to the side, like a military, not the regular baseball cap, but like a military hat
Mm-hmm.
tilted to the side, and he drank Jack Daniels and chased it with Heineken for
Damn.
3 years. For 3 years, that's all I drank was Jack Daniels and Heinekens. And no, not Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker Black. That's what it was.
Oh no.
Johnny Walker Black with a Heineken chaser for 3 years, and I was like in that character. It took me a while to detox after I got out of it, and
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times with films, but now Now I try not to do that. Now I
Yeah.
try to make sure I have enough notes written down, and I'll write down my thought processes that will get me back into where I need to be, and then I'll put myself back into that mental space that I need to be in order to get back into
Mm.
character on set, as opposed to walking around with it. Um, Usually, you really only need that if you're doing like character acting
Yeah.
to really be able to master nuances that are outside of yourself. Maybe the walk is different,
Mm.
the laugh is different. How
Mm.
you get angry is not. He doesn't get angry the same way you get angry. He gets angry differently.
Yeah.
He,
Oh,
he may he may have his things bottled up, and so you may only see the anger. He may be smiling, but you see the anger in his eyes, because he's not. You know, he's afraid of what he might do if he actually reveals his anger. So there's so many different ways that you can craft uh, a character, but the most important thing is that whatever you decide to do, fully commit to it, and let that be the truth of the character. If you're hesitant, if
mm.
you're unsure of it, then the camera sees it,
Yeah.
and people can tell that you're acting. And if you look like you're acting, that's bad acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People should feel like they're eavesdropping on a conversation or a scene or
Yeah.
somebody else's, life, and that they're not supposed to be there. They
Mm.
shouldn't feel like, oh, this person's acting.
Damn.
Mm.
That's dope. Keep it hip hop. Uh, Shout out to Run DMC. You did some work with Rev Run's daughter. What I
Yes.
mean? Yeah, man, that's dope, man. Big fan of Rev Run. I always said that. Not the one you work with, but the other one. I was like, she's pretty, but she look too much like Rev Run. Like,
Oh, you're the beautiful, talented Vanessa
yeah,
Simmons. Shout out to Vanessa Simmons,
yeah. She,
man.
yeah, dope,
Real cool,
dope,
man.
dope.
So he did a great job. And I think she's getting more and more work as an
Hell
actress,
yeah.
and I'm happy for her. But it was definitely a great experience working with her, and I think it was new for her to be in that type of stage play,
Yeah.
as well as it was also a time period piece. So it was staged in 1920s, 1930s.
Mm.
You know,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
so it was also a time period piece. So we are able to, you know, go back to those accents, and
Oh,
from
yeah.
she was from the South. I was from New York, so to have that difference from country girl to a New York City slicker,
Yeah.
that type of thing from the 1920s is Harlem Renaissance type city slicker meets girl from the South.
They were
Mm.
complaining about the accents in Sinners. I heard a few complaints about, oh, it didn't sound like the accents back then down south Negroes and all that. I'm just like, wow, I didn't get that. But is that something you notice? Like the accents, like the thing that always gets to me are these guys that come from London, United Kingdom, over there.
Yeah,
And then they come over here and they got the accents like your man that did that Snowfall. Like nigga,
yeah,
you
yeah.
think
Damon
he
Damon Idris.
yeah, you thinking he's motherfucking Rick Ross or whatever, and then he does an interview. Yeah, mate, it was a great pleasure doing it, mate.
Yeah. If
We had tea on the set all the time, mate. It was great. I was like,
yeah.
yeah,
Did you see the interview he did? Mac 10
yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Russia? Mac 10 was his acting coach. So
yeah.
they had Mac. I don't know if you saw that interview where he was talking about how Mac 10 picked him up and a lowrider was like, "Come with me, fool."
Yeah,
He was so scared like the whole day.
yeah. I'd be scared too, fucking around
But
there.
yeah, but no, honestly, I did not notice the accents. I notice when somebody will break their accent
Okay.
more than I notice the accent. Like if they slip from character, that's what
Oh,
I noticed. But if they, whatever accent they chose, sometimes I'm like, that's
yeah.
the one you chose. But just like, black people came from everywhere,
Hmm.
so it's just like you can't really say whose accent is whose.
True.
Just like people were surprised to see Asian people in the film. and not knowing that there were Asian people in Mississippi at that time.
Yeah.
So could the accents have been thicker? Possibly. But I thought the acting was excellent.
Yeah.
I thought the storyline and the character development was excellent. There really wasn't anything that wasn't excellent about that film. All the hidden jewels, all
Yeah.
the subliminal messages that not everybody will get, but when was the last time I can tell you last time I saw people stand up and clap in the theater? You
Yeah.
know, people in theaters like when the Asian woman was like, "Come on," people in theaters like, "No, bitch!" Like, the whole theater, the whole theater. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When was the last time you were in a theater and that was happening where people were that emotionally invested? You know what I mean? It was great. So I have really no bad critiques about that
Like
film.
he's like, that's why we're getting rid of DUI. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly the reason right there.
Yo,
Yeah.
I saw a meme. I mean, I saw a dude post. He was like, man, he's something to where he realized, man, I got too many women because I've been seen Center 6 times. He's like, this is my sixth damn time seeing Center.
Box office hit.
So I got to cut my roster down.
He got to act surprised every time. Did you
And,
see that?
and you gotta like the deal that was signed with Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Coogler, he
Yeah.
actually he gets his film back after 25 years.
Mhm.
No recoup from the door. Whatever is being paid immediately for them tickets, you get
It's called First Dollar, I think it's called.
Wow.
First Dollar.
So, you know, shouts out to that brother for making an excellent film, but
Yeah.
also getting his business together on the back end.
It's
They tried to make it seem like that was that big of a deal. Quentin Tarantino has had deals like that. Other directors have had deals like that. He's just the first person. He's the first black person to get that deal.
yeah.
That's why they're making it such a big fuss about it.
Oh, so Spike ain't never got that deal?
Spike ain't never got that deal.
No,
Damn.
but here's
Wait. I could be wrong.
Okay,
I
yeah,
could be wrong.
we can be
no,
wrong,
he's
but
never
I
he's
could be
never
wrong.
had that deal. He's never had that deal. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. But the reason why I think it's a big deal to say it, and I understand why he and you feel like not so much because other directors from other lineages received it. But where we're going when it comes to content, I think
Mhm.
younger directors need to hear that, you know what I mean, as they're creating their masterpieces for the world.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? To go in because there's more tools for leverage these days than there
Mhm.
were the past 10. So
Right.
um, having ownership of your content is paramount, period. That's just it.
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's all.
And I also think that the movies he did prior,
yeah,
your Black Panthers, your Fruitville Stations, like all the things that he Creed, you know what I mean, gave him enough business savvy and some knowledge to instead of just taking whatever deal was on the table, like really make the different distributors bid
Mm.
on who's going to be, they had a bidding war, you
mm,
know what I mean? And the other ones lost because they weren't able to give him that deal. And they were like, you know what? Look at his track record. Let's do it.
mhm.
And so he got that because there was a bidding war, not because he just took the first deal or what the most money might have been up front. He went for that back end money.
Mm. Well, I remember they had the video a couple years ago. I think he was in the bank and they they arrested him.
Yes, crazy. Thought
Yeah,
he was
I
robbing.
hope that brother
Thought he
took
was robbing the
that
bank because he was
goddamn
taking
bank.
too much. Thought he was robbing the bank because he was taking too much of his own money out of it.
yeah.
Hey, this is why I'm big on Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Decentralize your funds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, stop messing with these centralized entities.
Which coin do you go at? Which coin or do you recommend?
So Bitcoin, of course, that's digital gold. Ethereum, that's pretty much, smart contract. Everything's going to be built on that. Pocket Network, which is a infrastructure play. It's a decentralized infrastructure piece. Cosmos, that's a layer one with a lot of developers. And I'll give you one more. Polkadot.
Okay.
So those are the top five that I would recommend.
What about the Dogecoin?
It's a meme coin that really doesn't have a whole lot of utility at all. I wouldn't put money into that. I mean, I get it.
XRP?
XRP is so they're getting a lot of traction, but it's a centralized play, and I'm really anti-centralized play. Though I do hold some XRP, but I don't plan on like holding it for years. You know what I'm saying? It's not a long, very short play for me.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So anybody listen to that make money, you can send it to my Cash App. You know what I mean? Because if you stand on Sports Financial Bitcoin Advisor, yeah, do we take a little fee?
Wait. I'll put the asterisks on there. This is not investing advice. Don't
This is not investing
use-
advice. Don't ever, don't do that.
Mm. Well, check this out.
Do your own due diligence. You know what I mean? But that's me.
We're going to get out of here, but there's two things that I had on my mind before we get out of here. I just wanted to talk to the brothers. What do y'all think about the new black pope from Chicago?
Wait.
You know, he got
You calling him a black pope?
0.08% black in him. You know, we claim he's not.
I don't think about it much, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, of course, around the Pope and Catholicism and all that type of stuff. I mean, is he going to take the Black Madonna out of the basement and show everybody the Black Mary and the Black Jesus that they worship? Is he going to, open up the library that's underneath there, the miles and miles of catacombs that have all the secrets, are they going to talk about, Isis, Horus, Osiris having the same story of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus? You know what I mean? Like, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about 13 disciples? We're going to talk about 13 moons, in a year. What are we talking about? 12 jurors and a judge, you know what I mean? What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Like, if we're gonna go into the Knights of Templar, like what is this black judge? I have as much expectation from this black judge as I do from, I better not say that, black people get mad at me.
Okay, please.
I was gonna say I have as much expectation from a black pope as I would from Obama being president. Yeah. He's only going to be able to do
what he can do. Jay Sands got a problem with that, by the way.
He's not going to be able to be like, I'm doing this for black people. He's going to always have to be like, I'm doing this for everybody. So therefore, and when you're doing things for everybody, that kind of means like nothing new is going to happen for black people.
Yeah. And that was just a joke. Like he's a white guy, but I just but what it was, I was listening to Morgan State, your alumni. I listened to your radio station, and it was just like people like Tiger Woods. Oh, he's black, and it's just like we cling on to that little percentage, but these people, the people who don't identify themselves as black, but we see them and we just want them to be black. Please be black. Please be black. He's like, man, I'm Calvin Asian, man. I got me white.
Does the new pope identify as black?
Hell no. It's hell no. You can look at. I think his grandparents were Creole. Like that. So his grandparents. So I got family in New Orleans. Trust me. There's a divided line with my family in New Orleans, and guess what? It's the light skins versus the dark skins, and I went down there like, well, fuck, where do I fit in?
See, but that's a part of the problem.
Yeah,
that's always been their strategy.
Yeah,
and the light right now that nobody's talking about is what, Burkina Faso.
Ooh.
General Ibrahim. you know what I mean? And those countries that are uniting and getting rid of the colonizers.
Yeah.
So that's they're not showing that on the news. You know what I
Not
mean?
at
So
all. Not at all. You gotta go to TikTok. You gotta go to social media to see that information.
yeah, and to me, that's what more than the Pope, more than Trump, more than anything else right now. That's what's getting me. That's what warms my heart the most is to see that.
Mm.
And this is a great segue from crypto to countries being self-empowered, right? So you have all these tools. There's a reason why countries are being a little bit more brazen about how they move. You know what I mean? Because they're not necessarily going to be reliant on the dollar like they used to, right? You think about geopolitics, all the
Mhm.
shenanigans around the world. Uh,
Mhm.
and, and us here in America need to realize that, let's get off of the identity politics. You know what I'm saying? On our quid pro quo game. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Where people are like, hey, we have resources, we have the power of people, and then we have these new tools that are available for us to interact with, whether it's tokenomics, governance, right? Sovereignty, right? Through
Mhm.
centralized asset that holds value. And so um, those are the things that we need to get wrapped up into and educate ourselves and pass that knowledge on. I think this is the best time in history. We'll never see another time like this in our lifetime. The things that are happening right now. We're watching, Canada and Mexico, who are America's friends. Everything's getting shaken up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Trump was over in Syria and talk about, we're going to remove the sanctions from Iran. You know what I'm saying? So things that never happened before is happening right now. And when the system of white supremacy is updating or upgrading, uh, it's our time to shake and move. So,
Mhm. All
Mhm.
right. Switch real quick.
yep.
Start satellites. What the fuck are all these satellites going up in the sky? Starlink satellites going up in the sky for?
Oh,
Oh,
that's Elon's company.
Yeah, I know. It's like 22,000, 33,000 satellites. And what's going on? I mean, when I look at it, I'm thinking, okay, they're gridding the earth. So every corner, go ahead, Gus.
So do you want to depend on just AT&T, some of these platforms that kind of carved up our areas to provide this service of internet, or would you want another option for a service that is satellite based and it can't be cut off centrally?
Yeah.
Right? These are they create it's kind of like nodes, right? It's kind of like these um just imagine you have multiple boxes that have internet capability and they all connect to each other to create some internet mesh and then you have access to it.
Like Spider-Man when he fought the damn
Yeah.
motherfucker.
like a nervous system,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
like a nervous system.
That's crazy. And
yeah.
again,
But the,
I'm
but
just looking at the play, man.
I'm
And
not gonna I'm not gonna talk about it because we're probably on one of them right now,
exactly.
and I'm not saying
I,
I'm like lasagna. I'm moving silence.
Okay, and you said food. One last thing before we go. One last thing before we get out the fourth quarter. You said food. So food leads me to fat people. And I want to know, do you guys know anybody who's taken the fat shot drug? Bruh. Hey, look, man,
You,
I don't get in here to
you
promote
talking about
drugs.
you talking about that? Oh,
Yeah, hey, look, your man did the press conference, and
yo,
our president, he was like, "Yeah, I got a friend who takes that fat shot drug."
yo, he ran that boy into the ground. I'm like, don't you don't
And
want to
he
be
said
his
it's
friend.
not working. He said he's still. That's
Horrible.
our president, man. I shouldn't even be laughing.
No, I mean, you can't, you got to laugh to keep from crying at this point.
Oh man, well look, we are out of here. The game is over. Walter, man, thank you for coming through, man. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having me,
so
bro.
much, man. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
thank you, thank you. I just want to say on my outro, man, RIP to Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon played for the Detroit Tigers. I wasn't a Tigers fan, but every year when I bought them baseball cards, I got a Chet Lemon baseball card. So I knew who the hell he was. Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, those great Tigers back in the day. Chet Lemon, RIP, man. What you got for us, cuz?
Shout out to all the caregivers in the world. This is
Mm.
super strong. I myself am a caregiver for my wife. I've been doing it for 9 years. She's been fighting metastatic breast cancer for 5 of those years. And so, um, if you know somebody who is a caregiver and you got some energy to pour into them, please do so. It's greatly needed. I want to give shout out to Brandy Evans. She's an actress from P Valley fame, but this is her hoodie. She's actually a caregiver for her mother. Um, so shout out to all the caregivers in the world. Keep job, keep doing your thing, and but also take time out for yourself.
Yes.
And Newt, check this out, man. Can you take us home? And again, go ahead and tell us about the boxing. Let's go back to that too, where to get the tickets
All
at.
right. Boxing. DM me at What Walt Can Do. My name is Walter Maxfield Jones. What Walt Can Do. All one word. DM me. I got tickets. My fighter's name is Mark Bickerstaff. Mark Rock Bickerstaff. You can see him on IG as well. Follow me. There'll be links. Got VIP, like I said, got VIVP tickets, which is ringside, like inside the barrier. Got floor seats, first 5 rows. Got any tickets you want in that casino. DM me, I'll get you those tickets. Tickets go on sale today.
Wow.
So hit me up. I only have so many tickets of each section. So try to get me as soon as possible. First come, first serve. What Walt Can Do on Insta. Other than that, everything is hashtag What Walt Can Do. Insta, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. What Walt Can Do on everything, on all platforms. Follow me. If you want individual one-on-one boxing coaching, come to the gym, Urban Boxing. That's where I'm at right now. Or I can come to where you are. We can work something out. Flood the movie on Apple TV and Tubi. Flood 2 coming out soon. Follow Desi Alexander. I think that's about it, man. And another shout out to what my man said about the caregivers. I was a caregiver for 3 years. I took care of my mom for 3 years while she had ALS until she passed away. I don't wish that on nobody. If you know anybody that's a caregiver, man, just give them a hug. Just send them some food. Uber eats them some food. Just surprise them at the door with some food or something. Show them some love, man. Pour some energy into them because it's real.
It's definitely real. I hear about the boomers. You know, we're the generation that got to take care of the boomers, and that's coming up. That's on the menu. It's coming up. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, cousin. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you so much for having me on the podcast, man. It was a pleasure, Nobi.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate it. Had fun. Had fun. Had some
This is
laughs.
just the first time. This is the first time, dude. You coming back?
Yeah.
You coming back now? This is just the first time. Like I said, we're gonna get you and Bert on here. We can talk about some old Morgan State days. You bring some.
Fantastic. Yeah. I was a wild boy. I was a wild boy at Morgan. I don't know if you want some of those.
Oh no, we need those, man. We need. I need to get banned. Tell a story and get us banned on YouTube. I need that. Well, yo, check us out. I'm Jay Sands. That's Tahir Jahi. That's Walter Maxfield Jones. It's Sands on Sports, and we out of here. Peace.